Sure. Actually, I'll take those 10 minutes to just take it from where Nikos left it, actually, and answer the question first, and then go to certain points. The question is if private equity can help the Greek economy. The answer is yes, under conditions. First of all, I wanted to thank Panayotis Gelos for two things. First of all, we believe a lot in what you're doing, and that's why we're sponsoring this event. And the interesting thing is, as you will hear, one of the things that Mr. Gelos does is he likes doing provocative events. And that's why I'm here, because we need to hear things the way they are, either good or bad, and put a positive twist to where we think that we can take the economy. So thank you very much, and hopefully today and tomorrow you'll hear the truth and how things can progress. So I will certainly make this happen, and I hope I won't upset anybody who is here from either the state or other institutions. That's definitely not my intention. My intention is to clarify what we need to do as a nation. We saw a video there. The video, unfortunately, either we like it or not, and you stole my point that of her math being, hopefully she's not a science or math teacher. The reality is that this is what the view is out there for Greece at this point, and we need to do something to change this. And this is the most important point. We need to understand where we stand, where our credibility has gone, and go back to fix it. So we need to act. In order to act, we need to try to fix the Greek economy. In order to fix the Greek economy, we need to change the mentality and the way things have been done all these last X number of years. And that's why we are here to try to help. As Nikos, I came a little bit earlier. Unfortunately, neither your or my timing was good. But actually, we are at the right time, at the right place, for two reasons. First of all, crisis needs assistance in equity financing, and we need to make sure that we understand that private equity is equity financing. So we're here to help people to grow their businesses, become shareholders, and share with the entrepreneurs the benefit of it. And the second thing is we need to change the way things are being done. So we need to change a little bit, first of all, the investment community. You have three people up here from the investment community that they've been investing the last few years. There are many more. Nikos mentioned Thanasis and Spiros, and we'll talk a little bit more because we have another fund for the ICT for Jeremy program. So we need to change the ecosystem first and foremost of the investment community. We need to understand what the people feel about private equity. We're not the sharks. We're here to partner. It's not only the money that we're giving. It's first and foremost, again, the advice and the partnership that we will offer with subject matter experts. You're absolutely right when you said that if you don't have the power, you don't want to, if you don't have the specific knowledge in certain markets, you don't get involved with it. And that's why I understand that EFG does not get involved in the startup side. We're taking a little bit different approach in our shop, and this is not a pitch. It's what we're doing and why we're doing it. We have a day job of investing, and we have a crazy job, a vision to change this country. A lot say it, some mean it. Hopefully we are. I certainly do, and I will do everything we can to change this, and my team. We're trying to do a different model based on experience from many years in the US and in England. We're taking an approach of strategic investors from our perspective. And we're taking an approach of, yes, let's identify which are the areas that first the Greek economy needs to fix. There are important and pivotal pillars of the restructuring of the country, and we know. And B, in order to create an alternative asset manager, you need to play, in our view, in all the stages of the timeline of investments in order to be able to change the market. First of all, to create a market in some areas that doesn't exist, and second, to change it. Because if you have holes and you invest in the very early stage and then you invest in the later stage, it doesn't help the companies because they will die before you can help them grow. So our approach is that we built from very early stages, the angel stage, all the way to the private equity side, which is more sector-focused investments. There are three areas of focus, of strategic focus for Greece and for the group, which is technology, renewable energy, and specific, as we call it, niche segments of the real economy. What that means is we understand these businesses. We all, or most of us, and we'll talk about who us is, have experience, specific experience in these fields, and where we don't have the experience, we've partnered with the appropriate people that have nothing to do with Piraeus or the banking sector, and we need to define here, you see three VCs that are all coming from banks. Let's make sure you don't talk to bankers here. Let's be clear on that. First point that will annoy some people, most probably my employer. We are owned by banks, right? And people don't realize that. It's very important to understand it. We are equity investors. We're focusing on the companies and how we can help them. We have some owners, as everybody, and these are the banks. So independence, and we have certainly achieved that by having subsidiaries, and the way that we are operating is very important. Number two is the type of mix of people that you need to have. There are three fundamental things that you need to have in order to help this economy change mentality and way of doing things. You need a subject matter expertise on the private equity side, and that you can only get from abroad. And thank God we have a group of 9 people. 2 of them are non-Greeks. We have a Canadian gentleman. We have a Belgian-Greek gentleman, if we say that. They're both here. You can speak to them during the course of the 2 days. And all of us have at least schooled, and most of us worked abroad for many, many years. In my case, a little bit too many, 21. So that's number one. Number two, though, we need to adjust, and you will hear a lot more on the startup side, so I don't want to spend a lot of time on our ICT, the PJ Tech Catalyst Fund, because we'll have a specific panel tomorrow for the startups. The number two is to be able, Greece is a unique country. The region is a unique region. So we need to understand very well the way things are being done in the financial markets, banks and non-banks. And number three, we need to understand how the entrepreneurship mentality is here. How do the Greek entrepreneurs think? All these three things, if you don't have one of the three, it's not going to work. So we've created a great, unique mix of people where we're shifting the model to very specific international standard processes and way of assessing deals and the way that the deals are being structured. And then with the partners, the appropriate partners will help all these individual companies. These companies, as we said, will be in technology, renewable energy. We separate corporate risk with infrastructure risk. We have 4 types of activities back in our model. We had a partnership, I don't know how many, and I think the 2 Georges, as we all call them, Mr. Kasselakis and Mr. Geralis, hopefully will be here if they're not yet here today. We had a partnership with Open Fund, and we were the anchor investor by 50% in order to jumpstart the process of the framework of the angel side. And then we continue with the concept of the technology side, the seed side. So you see that we start building the different timeline. The VC fund, which is a 30 million, the last annual fund, again, focuses on the 3 specific areas, but does corporate risk on the energy side. We don't commingle corporate risk and project risk. And the 4th activity is through an English limited partnership fund, which is not covering only Greece, but it's covering Southeastern European and emerging Mediterranean regions, as we call it, for infrastructure project type of risk, asset generation risk. All these, as you see...
You have 1 more minute.
1 more minute?
Yeah.
I did go over 10 minutes, eh?
And time is passing.
You said I could have as much as I wanted. You didn't mean it.
up to 10 minutes.
Okay. Sorry for that. So these different types of activities and these different types of focus areas can certainly help the Greek economy. We'll stop at here, and then we will have hopefully a lot of questions from you. Thank you. Sorry.